Hello and welcome to my channel. So today I am going to be drawing and painting an otter for you. These little guys are just adorable. You can see I've marked in, I've measured out, I put some dots for references on the width of his head, and I also measured it out. So I've marked here for the length of his body, which is the length of his head to his shoulder, and I've marked there from the length of there to his feet. So you can see I've put some guide markers in already. And I just sort of did a pencil measurement. So that was the width of his head, that's the width of the length of his body, and from there to his feet is the same length. So I just marked that on a piece of paper, and I'm using Archer's hot press, and I got my reference picture off Unsplash, which is a fantastic royalty-free reference site. So I'm just going to start by drawing this little guy in. He's so cute, and I'm going to add water. I've also got a zoomed in picture of his little face, so I'm going to try and do his little face as well. So yeah, got this reference off Unsplash. I've changed it a little bit. I might not add his little feet flippers in. I might just have his little tummy and his little hands in, but we'll see how we go, because I can't actually see the details on his paws at the front. He's got his hands up over his belly like that, and he's got very furry little arms. He's very, very cute. And then the rest of him is in water. His little belly's there. So I've got to somehow create the water as well. So I'll just leave some ripples. I'll just draw them in, just like sort of long, extended diamondy shapes. That'll be the light parts of the waves of the water. Like that. Do little ripples coming off his little tum-tum. Like that. Just like that. I might not worry about doing his little feet. I might just do his top half of his body, because I reckon sometimes too much is too much, so less is more. So we'll just do less. We'll have the focus on his little face. So now I've got to mark in his eyes. So from the edge of his face to his eye is about there. So I'll just draw his little eye in. His ears there. His little eye's about there. Like that. Then he's got that ear over here, and his eye's a bit further in this way, so it's about there. Oh, actually, no, I might move that. I might move his little eye. This doesn't look right there, but then again, I've got to get his nose in. His nose is about there. They've got quite big noses, and I've got a zoomed in picture of his nose so I can add the detail. They've got the cutest noses. They're almost koala-y in their noses, like the way their little noses look. Almost koala-y. There we go. That's helped me place his little eye as well. He's got his, no, his nose is there. And his mouth. I think I've put his arms up too high, but I can drop them down, I suppose. Alright. It's quite simple. Like, there's not a lot to them. There's not a lot of... I might have to move that eye back a fraction. It's looking a bit... Where's my eraser? Just got to grab my eraser. Just bear with me. And I do this. I move things around. I put things on the paper and then I change them again. I sort of change back and forth to just until I get things exactly how I like them. Years ago, one of my friends is an art teacher, and I learnt human portraiture. And we'd do a portrait, and then she'd make us rub it off and do it again, just to keep, so we'd practice. And the more you rubbed it off, every time you got a little bit better. So if you see something that's not quite right, don't leave it, adjust it. And yeah, I did some great work with her, because she had us do the work in charcoal, do the picture that we liked, and then erase it, and then do it again, and then erase it, and then do it again, until it was as near to photographic as you could get it. It was amazing. It was a really fun way to learn. So I do a lot of drawing and erasing, especially if it's something I don't draw a lot. Like, I don't draw these little guys a lot. So I think this is about the third time I've painted or drawn an otter. So I will be doing a lot of adjusting and readjusting. But there he is. That's him. He's pretty cute. I'm not gonna do his flippery feet. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do his flippery feet. I'll make the water all around him. There we go. I'll focus on his face. So I'm gonna grab my cup of coffee, have a sip of my coffee because I need my coffee. Put that over that side so I don't dip my brush in it because I tend to do that. Grab my cloth. And then I'm going to start with his eyes. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of transparent sienna to begin with. Just a little bit of transparent sienna. It's about my favourite colour to use. I love transparent sienna. And I'm just going to use that for the background of his iris of his eyes. And I'll do his pupil in the middle in just a minute. So I'll do his eyes, his nose, his mouth, and then I'll move on to the water. Could probably zoom that in a little bit more for you, couldn't I? There we go. Zoom that in a little bit more. There we go. That's a bit better. Oops, excuse my swinging doodah. Okay. So I might do his nose. So I'm going to make burnt umber. I'll bring my palette so you can see it. Burnt umber, cobalt blue. Get some more cobalt blue. I pre-wet my watercolours to make them flow better, but I don't think I put enough water on them because they're still not quite flowy. Okay, so I'm going to go onto his nose with quite a pale, quite diluted. That means a lot of water and a very little tiny touch of pigment. To start off with a lighter layer for his nose to begin with. I'll build it up darker as I go. I might as well fill in his whole nose because the inner nostril part is really dark. Like that. And then I'll do his little lips. Give him little dark lips. And he's got little dark ears. So this is burnt umber, cobalt blue to make this dark grey. Like that. Alright, now let's have a look. He's got a pale head, he's got a sort of a golden head, so I'm going to use a bit of gold ochre. I love gold ochre, it's a lovely colour, and it's in my Schminker watercolours. So I'm just going to start with a wash of that gold ochre over his whole head. I'll stay away from his eyes a little bit. Around there like that. Go around the side of his face. Yeah, I only just got this colour recently and I really like it. Because I've got yellow ochre. This has just got it's a little bit more warm. A little bit more of a warmer tone. It's less yellowy. It's got more browny, more of a browny tone. Okay, I do like my natural browns. Okay, so now he's actually got a darker body. Let's have a look. They've got a darker sort of greyish body, but I'm going to make that burnt umber. I go my burnt umber again. Where are you, burnt umber? Burnt umber and less blue. A little bit less blue, just to keep it more of a browny hue, like that. Just a little bit darker, and I'm going to make that very diluted also, and run that onto his body, like that. And I can actually take that all over him, because his whole body is that colour, so I can sort of fill that in. So I'll do that. I'll just fill that in. So it's on dry paper. I haven't put water on the paper. When I'm doing the background, I'll add the water, but I've got to let this dry first. So I come in around here and just fill all of this in, because I can add the detail at the end. So I'm just blocking in, filling up the paper with colour, like that. Okay. Oh, he's so cute already. He makes me giggle. These little dudes are so cute. I've never seen one. I've seen them in the zoo, but never in the wild. My dog's barking. Excuse my dog. That would be because I've got the washing machine on. He needs to protect us from the washing machine. I apologise. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to start to darken up. Actually, I'm going to shut the door so we don't have to listen to Bear Bear. There we go. I'll shut the door. Oops. Okie doke. We can still hear him, but he's not as loud. Because he has to protect the house from the washing machine. Because the washing machine jumps around a little bit. Okay, so I just add a bit more of that same tone, same gold ochre, but I've just used less water. So it's slightly stronger, the pigment's stronger, and every layer you add gets slightly darker as well. So, and I'll go around his little eyes. I've got to add his pupils, but I'm just building up. Hello, Achille, how are you? Welcome, welcome. And I'm going to add this gold ochre around the back of his neck. And at the end, I'll add the fur texture over the top with a little rigger brush. So I just take that down and around there, like that. All right. Okay. I'll get some black, or I'll make a dark brown. So what I do is burnt umber, cobalt blue. This time, a lot more burnt umber. And the blue. See how it makes it just that? Every time, if you'd use more blue, will make it darker. If you do equal parts brown and blue, it'll make almost black. That's probably a better way of describing it. Equal parts of brown and blue make almost black, which is far more. I do have a lamp black. I just recently purchased it. I don't use it very often because I prefer to mix my own darks. It just looks far more natural. Okay, so I'm just going to darken up his nostrils. Come down there. All right. He's cute. And I've got to go around the edges of his eyes, just a little. Like that. All right. I'm going to add some fairy bits onto his body. So I'm going to go a little bit of pure burnt umber. And I'm going to come down over the part that I've already filled in with a lighter tone, and I'm going to start adding a little bit of fur texture. Because he's wet, his fur's all in little points. And I can just do that by running the brush backwards in the direction that his fur would go, like that. I'll just fill that in. Then the fur on his tummy goes this way. You've got to remember to go the direction of his fur. I'll put a bit more burnt umber on my palette. A little bit more burnt umber on there. Like that. Just run that, just random little fairy bits. And I'll add even darker into the shadows, but for the shadow tones I'll use purple. I'll go really strong with those. Did I did. Just checking that I turned my camera on. Because if I film with one and I stream with the other. I've got two iPhones that I use for my filming. An iPhone 11 and I have no idea what the other one is. It's an old one. Okay. But yeah, they're pretty good because the megapixels on the quality on these cameras is pretty good. And I've just got a what do you call it? What are they called? What are those Logitech things called? The little handycam, the little cameras that you. Oh my goodness, I've lost all the words. I've got an app that I put on my phone to make it turn it into so it can stream. I forgot what that's called. It's got a name, but it's gone. It's left my head. Okay, so for that I'm going to add a little bit of indigo now to my brown. That'll make it darker. The different browns you use, the different blues you use, you'll get a different tone of grey. And I'm going to add this. You can see how much darker that is to the darkest areas. So that's indigo and brown, burnt umber. I'm going to add that into the darkest areas around his little furry body. Like that. I can't actually see his little hands. So right along the water he's quite dark because it's all in shadow. That's a beautiful black actually, that indigo. I've just got the right amount there, so that worked. It's going to darken up this part of his nose as well, like that. Into the top of his little ear, top of that little side of his ear. There we go. Hello, Rory! Video cam. Yes, no, it's a Logitech. What are they called? Oh my God. Hello, Rory. How are you? How are you? They've got a name. You're painting this for me, right? Yes, I am. I've only ever painted one otter before, and it was lots of fun. It was years ago. And I just saw this little dude, and actually Candid Crafter the other day, I just didn't know what to paint. I was feeling like, what's the heavens am I going to paint? And she's like, otter, do an otter. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I haven't done one of those. Haven't done one of those in years. And a moose, which I've done a moose, but I'll do another moose. So this is thanks to Candid Crafter, who is a lovely, lovely girl. Okay, so I've just got to darken out. So what have you been up to? How have you been? You've been great. Awesome. How's all the fam? How's mum and dad? So anyone who's watching this, please go and pop a follow to Aurora at Aurora's Art World. I'll have her channel linked below after. She's one of my dearest friends on YouTube and an amazing artist and crafter and does all the amazing things. I can only draw and paint. She does everything. Great demo. So fun to do. They are. Bear wants to come in. He was out protecting the house from the washing machine, so I had to lock him out because he was barking at the washing machine. And now he's like, I want to come back. You can hear him in the background being a sukilala. Okay, so I've got to darken up. I'm going to go the golden ochre again. Oh gosh, I got that in. I got my thingy. They're great too. Thanks for asking. Oh, no worries. Don't hang on. I'm just going to let Bear in again. Okay, you're not gonna bark now. You're done. You're done with the barking, Bear. Oh, you're gonna come up and say hello now. Okay, everyone. This is Bear. Hang on. Oh, anyone who watches this video after, this is my dog Bear. One of my dogs. I have 2 Jack Russells, and my kids have a Jack Russell that comes and stays with us a lot. And if he doesn't have a cuddle, he's not happy. So I've got to pick him up and give him a cuddle. All right, clean my brush. Grab my gold ochre again. And I've got to darken up this part of his neck. I'm rearranging my studio today. Ooh, but it'll be so satisfying when it's done. I need to clean mine up. I need to get my butt into gear and clean mine because it's organised chaos at the moment. So I'm just dropping little lines of fur in. I've got to darken up, get some fur texture in because he looks a bit flat at the second. Not a whole lot, just a little. And then I'm going to start adding the water. I've got to go a slightly paler. What am I going to do there? I've just got to figure out. I might go a bit of, I don't know. Oh, that's not going to work. A bit of buff. Maybe I'll go a little bit of sienna. It's a little bit redder. Just around here. A little bit of sienna. Just to there. Looking great so far. Thank you. Oh, you mean... yes. Well, it's so good when you've got it organised. It feels good when your art room's in, back to where you want it and everything has its place. Like I had a shelf for watercolours, a shelf for acrylics, a shelf for oil that I never use right up at the top at the back. I had shelves for everything, and now of course everything. I get one and I'm like, okay, well I'll just put that back and it can go anywhere for now and I'll fix it later. And I'll stick it anywhere for now about 20 times. So now everything's all mixed up. So, yeah, I'm not very good at staying organised. I have 2 desks when I'm done, one for painting and... Oh, very good. Very good. Webcam! That was the word I was trying to think of before, webcam. I've got a webcam app on my iPhone, and that's what I stream through. Because webcams you can't adjust, but if you use your phone and get a webcam app, you can adjust it just like you adjust your camera on your phone. You can zoom it, you can pan it, you can do all kinds of fun stuff. Add filters if you so wish, but I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Alright, I've now got to add, I'm going to make up that indigo. Where are you, indigo? There's indigo, indigo, and burnt umber. And I finally ordered my indigo, Aurora. I finally ordered it. It arrived at the post office today, so I'll have to go down and pick it up this afternoon. Of course, your otter looks amazing. Aww, thank you. It's very cute. Otters are so cute. I went and watched them at our zoo's got them, an enclosure with them. And they're different. They're a different species of otter, but they were just so playful and cheeky and fun. They're gorgeous little dudes. They are gorgeous little dudes. There's really not a lot of detail to them. They're quite simple. My next phone will be an iPhone. Yes, they're 16 megapixels, I think the new ones. And so they're as good as any film, like camera. As good as any Canon or for megapixel wise. And they're so versatile and little. Like my hubby's just put a stand on he's hung a selfie stick from the roof. So I have my phones above me. So yeah, I literally have selfie sticks and a thing stuck to the roof so that I can hang them up. So I've got my old phone and my new phone, and I'm about to get the latest model, which then I'll be even better again because my plan's up for renewal. Because I tossed around getting a handy cam and using all that, but my iPhone's good. I just use my headphone microphones because the sound isn't good, that's all. The only difference is, yeah, the sound's not great. So I use my headset for sound. Candid! Hello! Hello! I'm drawing your otter. Your suggestion. And it's so fun. They're such cute little dudes. And I know he's got little white whiskers, but I'm giving him dark ones because I can see them better. I've got to go around his eyes again, you know. I'm going to go a bit of transparent sienna this time. A little bit of transparent sienna, just to darken around his eyes. So how's your weekend been, Candid? What have you been up to, doll? I had a lovely weekend. I actually got out on the tractor. We finally got all our hay done and baled. Our hay's baled, so this week I've got nothing much on, so that's good. Got all our hay baled at the weekend. So now it's all sorted. And so now work will start to slow down now. And I've got to plan a few art pieces because there's a few exhibitions coming up, or art shows that I want to enter. So I've got to get my butt into gear and get prepared for those. One of them's a portrait prize, so I've got to do a portrait. And I think one of my best friends, she's an artist as well, and we're going to do a portrait of each other. I just put it on the TV so Mum can see. It's been cold. Oh, we had 36 Celsius the other day. It was disgusting. It's getting hot. February's our hottest month, but it's starting to get hot. And hi, Candid's mum. How are you, doll? I'll also be making this into a shorts video, so anyone who doesn't want to watch the full tutorial can just kick back and watch it in a 1 minute thing. So now I'm going to start with the water. So I'm going to clean my brush. I'm going to get my cloth, clean my palette, because I will dip into the wrong thing because that's just what Jennies do. I always dip into the wrong doodah and end up with a mess. So I need to clean my doodah so I don't dip into the wrong doodah. And I've been thinking about, because next year life's getting back to normal here-ish. So I might even do a couple of art classes next year. I've got a friend who's an amazing wildlife artist. So I might go and do some specialist wildlife stuff. That could be cool. I've got to get a really big brush now. Got to go a big brush because I keep using my small brush. Got to make sure it's clean because I never do that either. There we go. It's not clean. Isn't that a good idea? I just check that. So give it all. Get the dark colour out of it. I've got. Oh, I thought I cleaned that, but anyway, I just got to make sure it's absolutely clean. So I'm cleaning it on my cloth that I've got in my hand, swishing it in the water, making sure it's absolutely. Oh, and there goes Bear again. Bear's protecting me from the water again. I look sleepy. Yeah, he is. So now I'm just going to wet the whole background. I'm going to wet it all. Bear, excuse my dog. He's protecting me from the washing machine because the washing machine apparently eats people, and it bounces around and makes him grumble. Oh, okay. So I'll come around here and I fill in all the areas that are going to be water. And he's pretty much dry because it's another hot day today. So it's pretty much dry. I've got clean all my brushes and palettes. Yeah, my mum said hi and thanks for doing it. Otter, they're her favourite. Oh, cool. I'll be doing the moose in the next couple of days. Wednesday for Drawsome. Aurora, my friend Aurora at Aurora's Art World is here. We do Drawsome together. And this week's prompt, I'm telling you, is reindeer. Is it reindeer? I'm sure it's reindeer. Yes, it's reindeer. So that'll be fun. So I'll do reindeers and moose this week. But yeah, if you don't follow Rory at Aurora's Art World, please do, because it's lots of fun. All right, so I'm going to get cobalt blue. I'm going to put that on my palette, get a ton of it on my palette. And what I'm going to do, because the water's got highlights, so I'm just going to go round while the paper's wet. I'm going to cut around. See, I've drawn left those sort of diamond shapes. That's your light ripples on your water. So I'm going to leave those as the white of the paper. And I'm going to cut in and around. And I'll go darker and darker towards the middle. Darker and darker. Her mouse is moving to Nebraska. What? Oh, the moose! Yeah, it's a Nebraskan moose. I know that. See? I know all the things. I know where animals live. Okay, so come down and around here. I always mix. I don't even want to go there because I'm so bad at what do they call it? Places. Geography. I'm really bad at geography. Like if I was an explorer and I had to navigate my way around the world, I'd be one of those explorers that they lost forever and they would send out search parties and never find my body. That would be the kind of explorer that I am. I'd be that explorer, the one that they can't find ever. So now I'm going to darken up just at the back of him. Again, just while the paper's still wet. Excuse my dog. I'm going to have to shut the door again, you naughty doggy. Because he's barking at the washing machine again. Yeah, me and my ship and my crew would all disappear. You'd have to be on my ship, Aurora. You'd have to be on my ship. Okay, so again, I'm just leaving sections of the paper. I'm going darker, mainly on one side. I want the focus to be around the otter, so the darkest will be around the otter. So you want your darkest darks against your lightest lights for the contrast. I will add a little bit just to define these. He does have feet in the picture, but I'm not drawing his feet in because I have issues with feet. I'm like, if I do them, I don't know the otter's anatomy well enough to know exactly how the feet are put together. And I like to know the anatomy properly before I go. Because you'd be amazed how different creatures' feet are. Like even with birds, some birds have 3 toes, some have 4 toes. There's so many varieties. You've really got to know your stuff. It's one of the things I love about wildlife art is learning the anatomy of things, but I didn't with an otter, so I haven't Googled otter feet. The blind leading the blind. Yes, Rory. It would be fun. It would be fun, but we'd have to wear loincloths because our clothes we wouldn't be able to buy clothes or anything. So we'd have to actually we'd have to catch fluffy critters, but we wouldn't hurt them. We'd just like string them together, so we'd have like these live loincloths. Like little animals, because you don't want to hurt animals. So yeah, so we'd have to make our clothes out of live animals. They'd be wiggling and squiggling all over the place. We just have to be naked, like Naked and Afraid. Have you seen Naked and Afraid, that TV show, guys? Oh, I'm totally getting off art here, but anyway. So I'm going to ultramarine blue. Actually, I need to darken this up a little bit. I'm going to go around here. So I used cobalt blue first, or very diluted. Was it cobalt? Yeah, I used cobalt blue first. So I've got to darken up just directly around little Mr. Ottery. He's utterly gorgeous, little dude. And add little ripply bits, because I'm not very good at water. It's very much a practice and see what happens. I tend to do lots more wildlife than seascapes. But it is good practice. It's good to try things you don't do. So this is like my second otter ever in my life. And thank you to Candid for the suggestion. And Candid's mum. Go bold or go home. Go rogue or go home. Exactly. You got to go rogue. Give it a go. Because the only way you get better is by trying stuff you don't normally do. Pushing outside your comfort zone. So now I'm going to be really bold. I'm a little bit afraid, but I'm going to be really bold. And I'm going to grab some indigo if I can find it. Actually, no, I'm not. You know what I'm going to use? I'm going to use... No, I'm not. I'm going to use this one. What is this? I'm going to use Sodalite. This will be scary. It's a very dark, it's almost an indigo. It looks like an indigo. Sodalite Genuine. And I am going to add that while it's still wet in and around. So this is a Daniel Smith colour. So up until now, I've used Schminky. But this Sodalite is a Daniel Smith colour. And I just loved it because I love dark blues. I adore dark blues. So I take that in and around these darker areas. I've got to be a bit careful though. I don't want to do too much because otherwise it'll look too dark. I'm going to leave it now. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to get my brush, wet it, clean it, and just drag out that edge a little bit. And I'm going to go back to my cobalt. Back to my cobalt. There we go. And I've got to go over, go around these lines somewhat, get them in like that. Looks really cute. Thank you. Thank you. It is good fun. It's good fun trying things that you don't normally do. Oh, now Bear wants to come back in again. That Sodalite was a good touch. It just helps to, it was all looking a bit too blue and a bit flat. And I'm going to actually add, I've got indigo. I ordered it finally, but my favourite indigo, but it's sitting at the post office. Yep. So I need to go to the post office and go get it. But I really want, what's this phthalo blue like? I'm just going to have a look at this phthalo. No, it's too pale. Okay. I'm going to go my Senelia indigo, which is very, see how blue that is? Can you see how blue that is? That's a really strange blue. So this is a Senelia indigo. So I'm going to use that straight just around here. So I'm sticking to blues. It's a little bit stronger than the Sodalite. I think I need something a little bit stronger because it does diffuse with the water in the watercolour. And I'll just pop some darker ripples down here like that. And he's got some, well, his feet aren't there because I didn't do his feet. Put some little ripples around this side. Less is more, less is more. Greenish blue would be perfect. Yes. Well, this is got a bit of green in it. This has got a bit of blue sort of hue to it. You can't really see it on the camera. And I'm also going to be a bit sneaky and go in with a bit of gouache, a bit of white gouache on the background. I have gouache on my watercolour palettes for just such occasions, just to get a bit of a lighter blue. All right. I need to not do too much. I've got to be careful. I've got to do darker down here though. I do have to do darker down there. So I'll go into that indigo down there. Like that. All right. Hello, Alice. How you going, doll? How are you? How are you? All right, so I'm going to get back. I'm going to let the background dry a little bit. And I'm going to go. Oh, I can see what I've done too. I've got to go some cobalt over here. I've got to take these swirls of water off the page because I did them off that side. I didn't do them off the other side. So you can see how the gouache has reacted with the normal watercolour. It's just feathered a bit. That's fine. And now I come around here. You hear Bear in the background. Doing very well, lovely. How are you? I'm great, thanks, mate. I'm great. I've had an awesome weekend. We got all our hay baled. So now all the work that we were stressing about trying to get done is done. So it is awesome. So now I can kick back and relax because we've got a hot week ahead of us. So be a good week to just do art and not be outdoors much. So I have big art plans this week. Alright, so darken up around here. Get some more swirly bits. I've got to go back onto his detail. So what have you been up to, Leishi? What have you been up to, mate? Yep, okay, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with it, I think. There comes a point where you've got to go, okay, enough is enough. I need to stop fiddling with that. I need to leave that alone now, leave the water. That's just going to do what it does. And I've got to start to add a little bit of detail back onto my little friend over here. So I'm going to pop his whiskers on. And I'm just going to mix up a dark with my ultramarine, cobalt blue, and burnt umber. Mix up a nice dark grey, except that didn't work. Got to wet my brown. There we go, that's better. Get a bit more brown on the palette. Like that. Oh, the palette's disappeared off the doodah. There we go. Put my palette back where you can see it. Sorry, guys. Get me burnt umber and my cobalt blue to make a lovely grey. And now I've got to get my rigger brush, my thin brush. I'm going to add his whiskers because he's got beautiful whiskers. That sort of come down. Like that. So they're just suggesting them. Right now we're all on call because Silver wants to do something Christmas. Oh, cool! Hello, everyone! Say hi to everyone for me. Okay, so now I'm going to pop some little dots on his nose. Oh, Bear, my little dog is going bananas. All right, so this is coming into the nitty-gritties, the final details. So I've got to add, I've got to make up an even darker brown. So I'm going to use that indigo. I'm going to pop it onto there, doesn't matter. Indigo and burnt umber, which makes a really dark. So your cobalt blue will make a lighter brown grey. But your indigo makes a really dark one. So then I'm going to pop that in. Start to pop his little furry bits down here. I can go with some more burnt umber as well because he does have very dark little paws. He's such a cutie muffin. Such a cutie muffin. And I'm going to add a purple. I've got to add a purple shadow. So I'm going to go a bit of pure quinacridone purple. It's fun to use some bold colours sometimes, so I'll stick that up here so you can see it. It's a quinacridone. There we go. Get that up there. You don't need a lot of it, but it just helps to, it really does help to lift shadow areas. So I just pop that into the darkest areas under his little arms, like that. And it just helps to give him that three-dimensional look. His little belly, he's got his little tummy belly, little fatty bits, and a little bit under his neck. And it reacts differently with the different colours I've got on the palette. So with the gold ochre, it's slightly lighter. On the browns, it's slightly darker. So, because it mixes on the paper. And then he's got a little bit under his little fat chin. His little chubby cheeks. Little chubby cheeks. Like that. Helps to give him a little bit more. I've got to pop a little bit around his eye, I think. I need to sort of try and get a little bit of something happening around his eye. A bit around his ear. A bit of purple around his ear. You can get away with using strange colours. You wouldn't think you would use them, but you can use them a lot. I did a multicoloured zebra not that long ago when he was rainbows. I had all different rainbow colours on him. That was lots of fun. I just did it for something to do, just to show that you could pretty much just go have fun with colours. It doesn't have to always be spot on perfect and exactly like the photograph. Alright, I've got to get a little bit of light back around his eyes. I don't know what I've done here. Or I'm going to grab a bit more yellow ochre to make that appear a bit gold ochre, sorry, not yellow ochre. I'm using gold ochre, so I'll just clean that palette out there, that holy bit. My well, pop a bit more. This brush has been weird. I'm not happy with the end on this brush. It's wearing out, I think. Start to lose there. It's a few years old, I have to say. It's had a hard life. This brush has been used nearly every day for years. So no complaints. The quality is great, but I wear them out. One of my Raphael brushes I've had for 30 years. And it's still as good as the day I bought it. The handle's wearing out, but the brush itself is gorgeous. You can't get them anymore, the ones like that. It's a natural brush. Alright. But it holds a bucket load of water. You've got to be so careful with it. I use that on the brush, the paintings that are about 1 metre, on the massive paintings, because it holds a ton of water. So I'm just going to darken up here, and that will make that background lighter, because the contrast against it. I'm just going to stay off the background, like that. I'm actually going to add, I need to get my gouache. Where's my gouache? I need to get my gouache, and I'm going to spray it so it's refreshed, and I'm going to get some pure white, fresh white gouache, and put that, a little dot of that on his eyes, like that. So he's got his little eye dots. I will actually add that for his whiskers, rather than I had dark whiskers, but I don't like the dark whiskers. I've decided I don't like them. So I can go over them with gouache, it's fine. Ooh, got to be a bit careful though, because I've got a lot on my brush. And I can put any highlights that I've lost, I can put back. Ah! God, that was close. That was a big blob. That was an accident nearly happened. And yes, I scream sometimes when I'm painting. If I make a silly mistake, I scream at myself. I'm like, oh no, what have I done? So I'm going to extend that whisker. That looks a bit better. I think I'm happier with that. I'm going to take that dot down his eye a little bit more. And he does have perfection. It does. It just lifts it. That's that little bit. I've got to add some here onto because he's got the water. His wet bits are shiny, so he's got little shiny bits. So I'll give him his little shiny bits. I'll do some shiny bits on his belly. So what is everyone up to today? So Rory's rearranging her art and craft room, which is very exciting because Aurora makes amazing craft. So what's next artistically on your art journey, Miss Rory? We've got draw some this week. And then next week. And I'm going to pop some light on his head. So now I've started using the white. I'm going rogue. Who knew that painting was an aerobic experience? Oh my God. Yeah, you lifted weights. Man, art is very aerobic. It's all of the things. And I'm going to pop some white ripples because now I've got gouache happy. So I'm using gouache now. And I'm going to add some of these lights back in on the crests of these little ripples. Not everywhere, just, Jesus, I'm splattering it. Oh, God damn, I've got stuff everywhere. Excuse my swearing. I'm sorry, people. It falls out. I'm Australian. We swear a lot. I don't mean to. But I say things before I realise I've said it. I'm like, oh, I just said a bad word. So I apologise in advance for any bad words that fall out of my face. Okay, so come around here. I don't mean to. Okay, so just a few little ripply bits. Yeah. Okay, so that's looking better. I'm happy with that. Try to start a second channel for my crafts. Just Cabby. Can't think of a name. Oh, that could be fun. Think of a name. Get crafty with Aurora. Let's get crafty. All right, so I'm just going to add some big sort of swathes of the light onto the pale blue areas. And I reckon he's not far from done, going to finish editing some videos. Cool. Awesome. I can't wait to see them, Dale. That'll be excellent. So I'm going to put my gouache away now. I've done enough white. I've got to add some more cobalt blue just to that top left-hand side. I've made it a bit messy here, so I've got to tidy that bit up. Patiently, not really awaiting new paints from the mail. Woo! Dad said white was a good touch. Oh, thank you. Hi, Craft Candid's Dad. Hi, Candid's Dad. Yeah, the white helps lift it up. It just does lift it. I'm not very good at water. I'm not a landscape person. I'm an animal artist, so I'm still very much learning some things. Coffee and crafts was the lead idea so far. Oh, I like that. It's got a ring to it. I've really got to, I think I need to add some more dark down here. Not a lot. I just need to strengthen up. It's a bit wishy-washy looking down here. Just there. That's a bit better. So this gives him some more movement. You can see me sort of sitting back. I look at my big screen and I can see. It gives me a perspective that I can't, because if you look at your paper too much, you lose perspective. Like you've got to get up and walk away. I use my camera, my big camera, as my big screen as my walk away. I can look at pieces and I can see the flaws in it. Like there, that's annoying me. So I've got to get a bit of cobalt blue. But you've also got to get to a point where you go, okay, I've got to stop. And I'm getting to that I've got to stop point, I think, because I'm quite happy with it. So I reckon, he said, hi, lol, coffee and crafts is good. Yes, coffee and crafts is good. I like coffee and crafts. So now I'm going to sign this, and then we're going to do the fun bit and take the doodah off. So I'm going to sign it down here so it doesn't bleed into the other paint. It probably will, but anyway, there we go. I thought that was dry there. And then we're going to take off the edging, the fun bit. Ta-da! I love getting these lovely clean edges. It's so satisfying. Like that. Look at that. And you get beautiful clean edges. And he is pretty much done. So, there we go, peeps. So that's little Mr. Otter. All done. Thank you to the suggestion from the Crafter family, the Candid Crafter family. That's what you call it then? Yes, coffee and crafts. It rolls off the tongue, and one can never have too much coffee. Look, I've got my coffee in my Gengar, my Pokemon mug. He's very cute. I'm very happy with him. I am very happy with him. So tomorrow I'll do a moose, because that was another suggestion from the Crafter family, Candid Crafters fam. So that'll be good fun. And then, yeah, it's Monday, Tuesday. Then Wednesday is reindeer. And then I have no idea. Then I'm back to, I have no idea again. So we'll see how the mop flops. But I'm just going to clean my brush. And I reckon I'm going to call that there, guys. So thank you so much for hanging out. It's been an awesome morning. I've had lots of fun. And I will be back tomorrow, probably around about the same time, I reckon. I'll go and pick up my paints this afternoon. Might be able to get myself an art book. I need to do some housework, so I haven't done that. My mum said, thanks for painting an otter. We all think it looks great. Very cute. Oh, thank you. Thank you guys for the suggestion, and thank you for hanging out. Thank you for having my big mug on your television. Mug in Australia is another name for face. Thank you for having my mug on your telly. So I'm going to say thank you for a flamingo. I've never painted a flamingo. Never, ever, ever. Ever. Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do a flamingo. Well, that's filled my week up just nicely. So thank you, guys and girls. You are a world of awesomeness, and I will be back tomorrow. So I'm going to have to wheel off over that direction, because that's where my doodah is, and I've got to press my offie thing. So I shall roll my doodah over there and press my thing. So I will see you all next stream. Have an awesome day. Thank you for sharing with me, and I'll catch you next time. See you guys. I'm rolling off into the distance. That's actually, look at that. Whee!